One of the great things about books is sometimes there are some fantastic pictures. To those of you who received honors, awards, and distinctions, I say well done. And to the C students, I say you, too, can be President of the United States. We don't believe in planners and deciders making the decisions on behalf of Americans. I believe in the transformational power of liberty. I believe that the free Iraq is in this nation's interests. I believe a free Afghanistan is in this nation's interest. The United States prefers that Iraq meet its obligations voluntarily, yet we are prepared for the alternative. People forget that we structured it so that the government, or the people, would be repaid with a really good rate of return. And as it turns out, that aspect of TARP, that's what happened. Senator Kerry has been in Washington long enough to take both sides on just about every issue. America is the land of the second chance, and when the gates of the prison open, the path ahead should lead to a better life. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. We've climbed the mighty mountain. I see the valley below, and it's a valley of peace. We will not waver. We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail. Peace and freedom will prevail. Some folks look at me and see a certain swagger, which in Texas is called walking. It's clearly a budget. It's got a lot of numbers in it. This was not an act of terrorism, but it was an act of war. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come and witness my hanging. Use power to help people, for we are given power not to advance our own purposes, nor to make a great show in the world, nor a name. There is but one just use of power, and it is to serve people. A dictatorship would be a heck of a lot easier, there's no question about it. Leadership to me means duty, honor, country. It means character, and it means listening from time to time. There's no bigger task than protecting the homeland of our country. The wisest use of American strength is to advance freedom. When I take action, I'm not going to fire a $2 million missile at a $10 empty tent and hit a camel in the butt. It's going to be decisive. They misunderestimated me. You teach a child to read, and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test. We know that dictators are quick to choose aggression, while free nations strive to resolve differences in peace. The financial crisis should not become an excuse to raise taxes, which would only undermine the economic growth required to regain our strength. When you turn your heart and your life over to Christ, when you accept Christ as the Savior, it changes your heart. I believe that God has planted in every heart the desire to live in freedom. Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended. You can fool some of the people all the time, and those are the ones you want to concentrate on. One of my proudest moments is I didn't sell my soul for the sake of popularity. There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again." The course of this conflict is not known, yet its outcome is certain. Freedom and fear, justice and cruelty, have always been at war, and we know that God is not neutral between them. The resolve of our great nation is being tested, but make no mistake, we will show the world that we will pass the test. Now, there are some who would like to rewrite history. Revisionist historians is what I like to call them. It is clear our nation is reliant upon big foreign oil. More and more of our imports come from overseas. States should have the right to enact laws, particularly to end the inhumane practice of ending a life that otherwise could live. The California crunch really is the result of not enough power generating plants, and then not enough power to power the power of generating plants. Free nations are peaceful nations. Free nations don't attack each other. Free nations don't develop weapons of mass destruction. I had to abandon free market principles in order to save the free market system. One of the hardest parts of my job is to connect Iraq to the war on terror.